I'm going to be doing my eyeliner with a few different tools. So the whole point of this tutorial or this how-to video is how to get a perfect symmetrical sharp wing liner every time with different tools. So I kind of want to challenge myself a little bit because I do get into this run of always using the same tools and getting comfortable with it, and then when it comes down to me having to use something for whatever it is to demo or to a client wants me to use a certain product, it kind of can throw me off a little bit. So this is just a way to refresh, or if you don't, or if you're not familiar with any of these tools, then it'd be a good way to venture out and try something new. I want to start off with a gel eyeliner. So I'm actually going to demo the Tarte Tarteist eyeliner. I feel like they're easier to work with because I have a really good tool. Me personally, I like an angled brush. A really small angled brush and something that's really sharp. Squeeze a little product out, nothing heavy at all. And then I'll just take my brush, pick it up, but at the same time I'm shaping my brush so that it stays nice and sharp. Trick with this is to use as much of your face as possible because our faces are symmetrical. Our faces should be symmetrical, let's just say that. So I'm going to use my lower lash line. That is always the easiest guide. And give yourself a tiny little, just like that. Imagine your lash line just continuing up and you're just going to follow that line and then just draw a little line. It's super easy. So use as much of the straight areas of the product as possible. Say you just didn't have a steady hand. I mean, most of us don't have a steady hand. I know I for sure don't have a steady hand, and I drink way too much coffee most of the days where I have to create like the sharpest wing liner. So this always saves me. I try not to do free-handing as much as possible because 90% of the time I'm not going to create a straight line. I'm gonna fail. My trick is always to just stamp. It's a straight line because the brush is straight, so you don't have to put in that much effort. You don't have to do so much. You just use your tools. Here is the tattoo eyeliner from Kat Von D, and again, you want to use the edge of the liner or like the little side of it, not the pointy part, because this is what happens if you try to create straight lines. Like that's just not as straight. Put it to the side like that, then now I just created a straighter line. So it's the easiest thing. Just use as much of the straightness of the tools or products that you're using to create straight lines. It's like, it's mind-blowing. I know. I'm actually taking a pencil here from Pat McGrath. You just want to use something waterproof, something really black, because all I'm using this for is I'm going to tightline my eyes in between the lashes. Just try to cover as much as possible so you don't see like any skin peeking through. So I'm going to pick up a little bit more product. I'm going to find the corner of that wing liner, and from there, so I'll kind of do a little straight line here, and then once I kind of pass, I don't know how to explain it, every eye shape is very different. I know with mine there's a area of my eye that eventually like starts going downward. So once I pass that, then that's my guide to know when to stop. You're gonna have to look at your eye shape and assess all this on your own, but it makes it super easy, trust me. And then from here, all I want to do is start connecting. So the way I like my wing liner is a little bit thicker on the outer area of my eye, the area that sort of starts to slope down. I like to make it a little bit thicker because there's like stuff going on outside. I like to make it a little bit thicker because it helps give my eye a little bit of a lift, and as I go into the inner corner of my eye, it sort of gets a little bit thinner. This just helps me have like a little bit of an eye lift. It looks like I'm permanently smizing all the time, and this is just the style eyeliner that I prefer, but you can also just go parallel to the natural lash line, and that just helps enhance the natural eye shape. So you don't have to necessarily do like corrective eyeliner or anything like that. Just do what's best for you and the look that you're going for. Okay, so back to square one. I'm going to use another tool. I'm going to now stick to my pens or my liquid eyeliners. The one that I'm using today, this is the Fly Liner from Fenty. And I like the nice bigger, sharp sponge on this, or I guess they're called felt tips. Again, I'm going to use the same guide as before. I use my lower lash line as a guide. So what you can do if you don't have a steady hand, just like how I told you before, you can use the sort of belly of the eyeliner and just stamp down, and that will give you a sharper line. You can try to freehand this, but you want to be very, very light-handed. And what I like to do is place my pinky down first. Still use my eyes as a guide. And create my guide just like that. I'm going to just brush downwards. Just like that. And I'm going to follow my, all the way around my eye, parallel to my lash line. I'm doing most of the work at this point with just the side of my eyeliner. Because remember, this side of the eyeliner is the straightest part of the tool, so always utilize as much straight lines as you can. I'm going to show you very quickly if you wanted to make this eyeliner a little bit more bold. One thing that you just need to make sure is that your eyes are still open. And right where my crease is, I'm going to continue that line and just pull it back to the wing liner. Just like that. I started the line where my crease is. I'm just going to kind of push that downwards now. I just want to sort of round off this area a little bit more. This is a nice bold wing liner. It's obviously a little bit more bold, but anyone can pull off a bold wing liner as long as you make sure that it's going to fit in the correct areas. So keep your eyes open, use your guides, and use as much as the straightness of the tool as possible, and you're always going to achieve the perfect winged liner. Moving on to my next tool, this is the Rock and Roller from Nudestix. This is a pretty unique and awesome tool. As you can see, it's like a little wheel, rock back and forth and create little sharp lines and create like that perfect sharp wing liner. So with this, I recommend not starting off with the wing liner this time, because this tool might hold a lot of product, so you don't want to start off there. In fact, you want to start off the opposite. You want to make sure that you shake. It's hard with this tool to create roundness. It does not let you like curve, so it makes it a little bit difficult in this area of my eye where I actually have to start curving it downwards. So I'm gonna leave that till the very end where I know I don't have too much product left on the tool. Okay, so now that I know that there's not a lot of product on this little roller, I'm going to now create my guide. And then from the outside, you're just going to draw a straight line in. And I'm just gonna keep rolling until I get a really sharp line. I'm turning the tool almost like on its side. I'm using the side of the roller, and I'm gonna use that to start to curve certain areas. So I know that in through here I need to go just a little bit more curvy and follow the shape of my lid. This is a pretty unique tool. It does not let you really mess up. It only goes one way, and that's just straight. So you can get a really straight wing liner just like this, but it can tend to look a little bit more dramatic because you're not able to give it that natural curve. I recommend this to just create the actual wing part of your eyeliner, and then using something like a pen to create those like inner corner curves and things like that. So that's just another way of creating a super dramatic and really easy. Just for fun, I'm gonna go right under my wing liner and create like a nice parallel line just for a nice graphic winged liner. Okay, so I started to create this graphic eyeliner, and then my camera died and I had no idea, so I kind of finished it. But I still want to show you. I'm going to create a little bit more. So I'm going to make sure I get a good amount of product on there. And I'm going to come up like under it and then create a little bit like a straight line. See what I mean? Like there's just no way to mess this up. Let's go. I'm just kind of going a little crazy, but just to kind of give you an idea. It's such an easy tool. It does all the work for you. I know that this liner is like a little out of control, but just to kind of give you an idea of how this eyeliner is supposed to work. And so yeah. So there you go, you guys. 3 different eyeliner styles with 3 different tools. It's super easy. As long as you're utilizing like your guides and as much of the tool as possible, you're always going to create sharp, symmetrical, perfect wing liners every time. Just practice. That's always key. So I hope that you guys enjoyed these 3 different eyeliner styles using 3 tools.